Once you have downloaded JGrasp and installed it, you've downloaded Python, checked the box for the path, installed it, and you've installed the Java SDK for Java 8, you are ready to get started. Just as a quick example, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to double-click JGrasp as our programming software. Once it loads, we'll shrink this down a little bit so we can get it in the working window. I'm going to make sure that I am into my Google Drive stream folder that we just created. So you'll need to navigate, you'll need to open that folder. So in this case, for me, it becomes under, instead of OneDrive, I have to locate it under my username, Google Drive, and CS2. Once I've done that, I'm ready to create a file. So I'm going to go File, New, and we're working in Python. So we'll go in File, New, Python. And let's try a little bit of code. So in Python, we can create a variable. A variable is any instance that is going to hold a value, right? So in this case, I'm going to call my variable Fred. And Fred, I'm going to replace Fred. An equal sign means replace with the value of 9 plus 9. Now, when I run this, it won't work until we save it and give it a name. So at that point, I'm going to go save. I'm going to name it test, and I'm going to save over a previous test that I had. So I'm going to check it by running it. JGrasp tells me down here that it ran the code perfectly, and yet nothing's on the screen. There's no errors in it. JGrasp looked at it and said Fred is replaced by the value of 9 plus 9. I didn't ask it to do anything with that. And so in order to see if Fred really is 18 now, I have to print the value of Fred. So we type in, so in our code, we're going to type in print parentheses Fred. And let's run our code. And JGrasp returns and says, oh, the value of Fred is 18. That's what Fred is equal to. If I wanted to type, if I wanted to see, if I wanted to, let's see, what am I trying to say? There's a couple things I can quickly show you here. If I wanted to show some text, I would type quotation, Fred, quotation, and then I would concatenate. Concatenate is a term for putting two things together. So I would concatenate it with Fred. So the way I've done this is it's going to now print the word Fred, and right behind it is going to print the number 18. Well, I don't really want Fred 18. What I want it to say, Fred space equal space 18. So I actually have to put that stuff into my string value. So I'll have to add the space, I'll add the equal sign, and the equal sign, not a plus, and another space. This creates the format that I want to see. A string, remember, you can't edit after it's printed. You can't, it doesn't do any adding. It doesn't, it's just a block of text. So let's run it. Check our code. Oh, it says it can, so type error, can only concatenate strings not an integer to a string. Oh, so Fred is a number, and it's not going to let me concatenate Fred as a string and a number. So now I'm going to have to tell it that I'm going to turn Fred into a string. So I'm going to str parentheses Fred parentheses. I think this is the way we do this. And suddenly it's able to concatenate it because I have said this integer value, this number, I'm going to force it to be a string. I still had to match my parentheses on the outside, and that's why we end up 2 on the end. And there it prints out perfectly. Fred is equal to the value of 18. One of the other interesting things I want you to learn is that, well, I'm going down a rabbit hole. We'll call this good for today. Again, saving puts it into your Google Drive in your CS2 folder, and that will be the file that you submit to me when you complete your assignments, unless I'm asking for a Google Doc. Thank you.